Mr. Trump's team requesting clearance for Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. Ivanka Trump's husband now emerging as a top advisor. Also tonight, why is the Trump name coming off several buildings here in New York City? Also the breaking headline, the deadly police shooting, the horror playing out on Facebook. And tonight, that officer charged with manslaughter. What prosecutors are now saying. The horrific moment on the train tracks, the family inside their truck, the split-second decision that saved them. The murder at an American airport, travelers told to shelter in place. Tonight, the possible motive revealed. And the victim, the father of an NFL player. And the breaking images coming in now, the massive and deadly explosion, the home leveled. Plus the wildfire alerts and now word of the first blizzard of the season. Ginger Z is standing by.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Wednesday night. And we begin with major developments from inside the Trump transition, the next White House. And tonight, the president-elect Donald Trump does want national security clearance for his son-in-law, 35-year-old Jared Kushner, the transition team making that request. Kushner is married to Mr. Trump's daughter Ivanka and has now emerged as a major advisor to the incoming president. But it comes amid questions over how much the Trump family should have access to as their father now moved to the White House. Meantime tonight, that other image today, the Trump name coming down here in New York City. And Mr. Trump himself responding to reports of turmoil inside the transition. ABC's Tom Yamas leading us off.
Tonight, all eyes on this man, Jared Kushner, President-elect Donald Trump's son-in-law. ABC News confirming Trump's transition team has requested national security clearance for Kushner.
It's appropriate for whoever's going to get the presidential daily briefing to have a security clearance. It's not just appropriate, necessary.
Kushner, who is married to Ivanka Trump, is 35, a real estate developer with no governing experience. He became a close advisor during the campaign and is now a key member of the transition team, seen here touring the White House on Thursday. The revelation comes as the president-elect and his team are shooting down reports the transition process is in turmoil. Among those who are out, Governor Chris Christie, a one-time Trump advisor who sources say fell out of favor with the president-elect. Though Christie and Kushner worked together for months, their history is more complicated. Christie prosecuted Kushner's father, sending him to federal prison. Trump trying to sound optimistic. In a tweet that sounded like a reality show promo, the president-elect posting, "Very organized process taking place as I decide on cabinet and many other positions. I am the only one who knows who the finalists are." But former House member Mike Rogers, connected to Christie, who worked on the transition team before being ousted, describes a much different reality.
I think there is some confusion going on about a chain of command coming out of New York. Hopefully they'll get that settled pretty soon. I think they're going to need to do it because as this clock ticks, all of these decisions become more important.
And Elliot Cohen, who worked for Condoleezza Rice at the State Department and says he had contact with Trump's transition team. Originally a never-Trumper, he came around to possibly working with the team, but that changed quickly, writing about the experience in the Washington Post. A bad boss can be endured. A gaggle of them will poison all decision-making. Even Trump allies admit it's not going as smoothly as Trump describes.
The beginning of any transition like this has turmoil because it's just the nature of the process. And I think that Trump is very decisive.
And the Trump transition team still dealing with controversy surrounding the hiring of Stephen Bannon as chief strategist. The former head of Breitbart News, which published headlines like, "Hoisted high and proud, the Confederate flag proclaims a glorious heritage."
Are you comfortable with him having such a high-level position in the Trump administration?
It's great to see you guys today.
So no defense of Bannon then?
All right, I'll do it. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys, let's go.
And today, a site Trump would likely not approve. His name coming down from 3 residential buildings on the west side of Manhattan. The owners who licensed the Trump name deciding to remove the name after residents protested.
And Tom Yamas with us live tonight from Trump Tower. And Tom, we're hearing a new name emerge tonight as a possible contender for Secretary of State.
David, South Carolina newspapers quoting the lieutenant governor of that state who says both he and Governor Nikki Haley are being considered for positions in the Trump administration, and that Governor Haley is actually being considered for several posts, including Secretary of State. David?
Tom Llamas leading us off tonight here in New York. Tom, thank you. And just a short time from now, Hillary Clinton making her first public appearance since her concession. It had been planned before the election, and tonight keeping a commitment to speak at the Children's Defense Fund. And her first public moment comes just as her win over Mr. Trump in the popular vote has now surpassed the 1 million mark, fueling some of those protesters and questions about the Electoral College. Here's ABC's David Wright.
Tonight, as she appears in public for the first time since that crushing defeat, Hillary Clinton's lead in the popular vote is actually growing. Already more than 1 million votes ahead of Trump. By the time all the votes are counted, she may well end up with more raw votes than all but one of the men ever elected to the presidency. The lone exception, Barack Obama.
This is what democracy looks like.
The fact that she lost anyway is partly what's fueling outrage. On a call with congressional Democrats, Clinton said no one is sorrier than she is.
Remember, Hillary got more votes than Donald Trump. Do you understand what that means? More, yes.
Senator Barbara Boxer is now introducing legislation to get rid of the Electoral College, even though that won't change the results of this election. This online petition goes further, urging the electors to ignore their state's votes and cast their ballots for Clinton. More than 4 million signatures, but very unlikely. Trump himself once called the Electoral College a disaster for democracy. These days, he calls it genius, but also insists that if the election were based on the popular vote, he could have easily won, campaigning more in New York, Florida, and California.
And David Wright with us live tonight as well. And David, any clues on what Hillary Clinton will say tonight? And despite that popular vote tally, is she now done in politics?
People will be listening very closely to that speech that she'll be giving at the Children's Defense Fund tonight. It's a commitment she made long before Election Day, as you said, probably hoping to give a different sort of speech. David?
David Wright with us as well. David, thank you. We do move on to other news this Wednesday night and to that deadly police shooting, the horror seen by millions on Facebook. The police officer involved now charged with manslaughter. The moments after the shooting live streamed on Facebook by the driver's girlfriend. On the video, she can be heard begging her boyfriend not to die. Philando Castile did not survive, and tonight that officer learning of the charges. Here's ABC's Steve Osunsami.
Let's first say this tonight, that police officers across the country risk their lives every day for the public good.
I told him not to reach for it. I told him to get his hand out.
But in this police shooting that set the streets on fire near St. Paul, Minnesota, prosecutors say it's the officer who's the criminal.
No reasonable officer would have used deadly force under these circumstances.
On top of manslaughter for killing Philando Castile, Officer Geronimo Yanez is facing 2 felony firearm charges for endangering the safety of both Diamond Reynolds, who recorded the live video, and her 4-year-old daughter, who was crying in the back seat.
You shot 4 bullets into him, sir. He was just getting his license and registration.
Reynolds and her boyfriend both told the officer that Castile had a legally owned gun in his pocket. Today, police announced that he never had a chance to remove that gun before he was killed. They found it at the bottom of that pocket. In police radio traffic that night, you hear the moment the family is pulled over.
They have reason to pull it over. The 2 occupants just look like people that were involved in a robbery.
And you hear what many feel is the sound of racism.
The driver looks more like one of our suspects just because of the wide set nose.
Tonight, police say the family had nothing to do with the robbery. Diamond Reynolds says that manslaughter isn't nearly enough.
I feel as though that murder to the highest extent of the law is what would be appropriate here. At the end of the day, none of that is going to bring my boyfriend back.
The officer is expected to enter a plea of not guilty at a court appearance on Friday. His lawyer argues that the issue wasn't race, that it was the gun. David?
Steve Osunsami with us tonight. Steve, thank you. Next tonight, the fires, and now word this evening of the first blizzard of the season on the way. First, the air quality alerts in 3 states at this hour as 33 large wildfires burn from Georgia to West Virginia. Take a look at the skyline of Charlotte tonight. Thick smoke from those fires triggering a code red alert there in Columbia, South Carolina, and in Atlanta as well tonight. So let's go live to meteorologist Ginger Z, live along the West Side Highway here in Manhattan. She's got more on that blizzard, but first, the fires tonight, Ginger.
That's right, David. Atlanta, Georgia is one of those cities now 30 days straight without measurable rain that is having a huge impact, the drought on those wildfires. Let's take it straight to the maps where you can see 33 large wildfires now burning in parts of Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, all the states that are highlighted on the map. People are going to the hospital because of air quality. Schools are closing. Some of the air quality index numbers are nearing places like Hong Kong and Shanghai, China. So we're going to be talking about this for a while because that is not changing. But we've got to get to that blizzard watch. There are places that could get up to 12 inches of snow, David, with 45-mile-per-hour wind gusts going through the next 24 hours.
All right, you'll have more on GMA in the morning. Ginger, thank you. In the meantime, next tonight, to new details in that deadly shooting that triggered a lockdown at an American airport. Tonight, the victim, the father of an NFL player. And now word on a possible motive. Here's ABC's Philip Mena in Oklahoma City.
Tonight, chilling new details inside a deadly plot to kill. A gunman shutting down the Oklahoma City airport for 5 hours yesterday as tactical teams searched for the man police say shot and killed 52-year-old Michael Winchester, a Southwest Airlines employee.
It is believed the crime was premeditated.
45-year-old Lloyd Bui suspected of setting up a sniper's nest. Police say armed with a rifle, he laid in wait on the 4th floor of a garage, opening fire from 50 yards away, later taking his own life. Bui worked for the airline as a ramp agent, but last year was suspected of working under the influence of alcohol, quitting after refusing to be tested.
It is possible that the suspect acted in retaliation against the circumstances leading up to his resignation.
Winchester, whose son James plays for the Kansas City Chiefs, today honored with this photo on Facebook.
David, Southwest says that Winchester was a supervisor here, but wasn't Bui's boss. And they declined to say whether the two ever had any interaction at work. David?
Thank you, Philip. We turn next tonight here to a harrowing moment at a railway crossing, this time in Georgia. Take a look, a truck stuck on the tracks. The train barreling through a husband and wife. They were inside, but their split-second decision that saved them. And how often this happens in America. Here's ABC's David Curley.
A road and rail line littered with the remains of the tractor trailer and its cargo. The driver and his wife jumping just seconds before this. They survived, but the household goods they were moving ripped apart. That's a bicycle wheel rolling down the street. The driver said his GPS put him on the road northeast of Atlanta and says by the time he saw the no truck signs, he couldn't turn around and ended up getting stuck on the crossing.
All of a sudden, you hear the train coming. So my wife jumps out of the truck. She's screaming at me, get out of the truck, get out of the truck. Maybe 4 seconds later, the impact train with the trailer.
An accident like this, far from the first. Every week, at least 4 people die in rail crossing crashes. Part of the reason there are so many incidents, more than 5 on average every day. David?
David Curley with us tonight. Thanks, David. Next to your money this evening and to the bitter disappointment some new homeowners discover after the biggest purchase of their lives. ABC's chief investigative correspondent Brian Ross tonight teaming up with our ABC stations around the country with this Your Money investigation.
The building boom in new homes has also left a trail of heartbreak.
The water would start here and then travel along the ceiling.
As the owners of brand new houses tell our stations across the country, they are the victims of low quality, shoddy construction.
You continue living in something that no one can give you answers for. No one will fix it.
Problems big and small.
Look at that.
Like black mold, bouncy floors that had to be ripped up, cracks and holes in the foundation with snakes moving in.
Settlement cracks, nail pops, paint issues, issues with the flooring.
The building industry says its homes are of the highest quality ever and that unhappy homeowners are in the minority.
The American consumer expects a perfect home. There's no such thing as a perfect home.
In fact, our investigation found the biggest building company, D.R. Horton, set aside more than $400 million this year alone to deal with construction defect claims.
Point out all the houses here where there are issues.
But residents at this D.R. Horton subdivision outside Washington, D.C. say the company has been slow to fix what they say has gone wrong.
I had 23 appointments and they missed 17 of those.
In other cases, repair crews and bulldozers showed up only after ABC News or our stations began to investigate the homeowners' claims.
The crews showing up only after you started looking into this. So you'll stay on this along with all of our ABC stations. In the meantime, this can cost new homeowners tens of thousands of dollars, but you've got simple tips on how to protect yourself.
Absolutely. The best advice: first, spend the money to hire an independent home inspector to look for flaws and defects. And then make sure to get a good lawyer to look over the contract with the builders so that your dream house doesn't turn into a nightmare, David.
All right, our thanks to you, Brian, and to all of our stations tonight. Thanks. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Wednesday. The deadly house explosion, the images coming in late this afternoon. The powerful blast, the home leveled, and emergency crews on the scene at this hour. Also tonight, the murder mystery, the missing man last seen here in New York City. Police taking away clues, and now the new discovery tonight. And breaking developments this evening involving Tom Hanks, Robert De Niro, Ellen DeGeneres, and the boss, Bruce Springsteen. What they suddenly all have in common, and one dramatic phone call that says it all. You'll hear it coming up.
Ace is a place with the helpful hardware, folks.
My neighbor always goes big with holiday lights. I want to go bigger.
I showed Scott we had everything he needed. Long-lasting LED lights, light-up wreaths, and even the latest laser projectors. Hard to go bigger than that.
Ace is a place that knows true holidays.